once you're doing the same work, once you're part of the team, that's how it is.
Your character, Rooster, they have some nice emotional stuff together. What was it like actually being on the ground in this movie, collaborating with him?
On the ground was nice. whenever we were up in the air, that was kind of a different burden. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun, and I think this storyline that develops with Rooster and Maverick is really wonderful. Just considering everything that happened to. Well, what
was it like the first time you're in that role, going that bad? Where do you think that Thompson can do it?
Team didn't have to go to
Carol, can you look a little bit, Carol? And a little bit to your
and to your left,
please.
please, Carol. Carol, all the way to your left,
All the way
please.
to your left, that's it.
Straight ahead, Carol, please.
Carol, to this one here, please. Over your shoulder.
All the way over your shoulder.
Carol, looking up, please.
Carol, here on your left,
Carol,
please. Thank you.
other shoulder, just all the way Carol.
In the forces and great establishment and great banter too. Yeah. I hasten to add.
And I've got to ask you, it must be nice getting
Wash and get changed or anything. Go to sleep in the same clothes and you've eaten weird things. And
I don't quite know how they got into London. I assume the wings come off, although it would have been tricky. And I'm joined by Carol Vorderman and Alan Palmer, one of the directors. Carol, we think of you off Countdown, but you've had quite a long-standing relationship with the RAF.
I have. Yes.
Why do we love this machine so much?
Well, this machine, I know so many of the pilots who've flown her within the Royal Air Force, and those who flew her during the war as well. I've been very privileged to meet a lot of veterans over the many decades I've been involved with them. And they all say it's just the Spitfire is the most glorious machine. And I know I've never actually flown in one, but every time I hear it, which is often, the drone.
It's that Merlin engine, isn't it?
It's just beautiful. And you look up and a tingle goes down your spine.
Well, fantastic. Great news here. Alan Scott, who is one of the Spitfires. Alan, we're live on TV. We met before. It's Martin.
Yes, please. Thank you. Edith, where are we? What are we doing?
Oh, I'm actually presenting an award today, so I'm here.
Where are we? What are we doing here?
We're at the hotel, a very good room, and we're here at the Women in Film and Television.
Just here, please, Carol.
Carol, to your right. Carol, to your right, please.
Carol, this way. Carol, to this one here. And
Carol, to me, please.
and just to this one, Carol. And again to go and happy.
They landed it, assembled it.
Carol, can you come this side? Like, just that's it. Hop, that's lovely. That's show it for us, guys.
Charles,
Guys, straight ahead, boss. Carol.
Guys, you're looking straight down the centre, please. That way.
Charles, Carol, just over to your left side.
And then down to the bottom.
Vorderman, who is trying to make people understand the impact of this type of language. Carol, thanks so much for coming to talk to me about this. Goodness me. Are we an ageist nation then? Are we worse than other countries?
I suppose from those numbers you would conclude that. Yeah. I mean, I still believe that had you asked those questions 20 years ago, the numbers would have been even worse. Yes. So I'm always very positive and believe that things are getting better. Yeah. But it's unacceptable, really, because I hadn't appreciated until the survey, which was conducted by Sun Life, came out, that more than 2/3 of those who are on the receiving end of these ageist comments feel less valued because of it.
And that's the impact, the negative impact.
And that is the important point, because it's so unnecessary. And it's language, really, that belongs to the last century. You know, surely, to goodness, we've moved on, which I believe many have, but we still need to now raise the issue, knock it out of the park and get rid of it once and for all.
Do you think it's worse for women? Do you think there's an underlying sexism as well?
Well, it's a question that I've asked myself and it's a question I've asked other people. And I think possibly the media is worse about it for women. But I don't think that necessarily is the case in society. I do know, obviously, you know, I'm 58, coming up 59, and a lot of my friends are my age. And I think the men feel it just as much as the women, to be honest.
What has been your experience then, you say, the media?
Well, my experience is quite an interesting one, because obviously I've been in the public eye forever. And 20 years ago, this is why I say it's improved. So 20 years ago, you mentioned mutton dressed as lamb. So I wore a short blue dress to the BAFTAs. And that went front page everywhere. Various programmes were made about it. And the question was, not about the dress, the question was, should a woman of age 39 wear a dress above the knee? So I was labelled at the age of 39,
goodness me,
mutton dressed as lamb. Yeah. And that's like, what? If you say that now, you would think, well, you'd think somebody saying that about a 39-year-old had actually gone a little bit doolally. But I mean, you know, that was standard then.
It just shows you how times are changing.
Exactly.
But the reality is, we are all ageing. We're all getting older. It's just
life is a celebration.
Yes, it's a fact of life. So how do you counter the negative perceptions of age? What do we need to do?
I think we have to stop using it in sort of general media terms. I don't like the phrase grumpy old woman or grumpy old man. I think that belongs to something which was, you know, generational. It's not what I think at all.
What about he or she? Oh, they look good for their age. That annoys me, actually.
Yeah. Does it? Does it?
It does a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of does. But a lot of it's unintentional, I think. I think that there's a kindness behind that. But it's kind of something that we need to get rid of. We need to accept that we're getting rid of it and move on. And actually, so many surveys say that once you get to your 50s, you're the happiest that you can be. And my last decade
has been the best of my life.
Well, listen, Carol Vorderman, that's wonderful to know. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to me about that this lunchtime, and hopefully things will change. Thank you.
They will.
I've done 26 years of this. 26. But have you ever had a nomination?
I'm only 32, Jeff.
I know, so it's amazing that you started so young. Have you ever had a nomination book?
No, I don't think I have.
If you know any fantastic fundraisers that can represent the region at this year's Pride of Britain Awards, then guess what? We want to hear from you.
We certainly do. Whether they've raised a little or a lot of money, if you feel they're an inspiration, then please tell us all about them.
To the right.
Carol! That one.
So just once more straight ahead. Thank you.
Eyes to the left to me. Thank you. And then back to the top. And then Carol for this. And Carol for the go cat, please. This one's right in front of you.